Okay, and we'll start with the presentation of Braemar College. So, Braemar College is the Canadian private high school. We are the pathway provider, and what we do mostly is we welcome international students from different countries. We have actually more than 40 countries represented, and we prepare them for the admission to top post-secondary institutions, both colleges and universities. In terms of colleges, Humber is one of the best options, and most of the students who finish Braemar College, they select specifically Humber College due to the wide range of programs and exclusive opportunities for the students when they go to this institution. Just brief information of what we are, some data, some numbers. The school was founded in 1995, so we have the university of 30 years next year. We're very happy of that. The student body, we have 350 students and more students coming. We have a Nigerian community of more than 15 students as of today, but of course, we'd like to increase their number. The program that we offer is from year 9 to year 12, but mostly we focus on the last 2 years or on the last 1 year, the foundation program or the pathway program with connection to colleges and universities. There is no uniform obligatory at Braemar. We have more than 40 teachers represented, so we can say that the average class is around from 10 to 12 students. They are medium size, and we can focus and assist our international students and help them the way we can. As for the connections to universities, as I mentioned, we have 4 partner universities, which are University of York, University of Toronto, TMU, previously known as Ryerson University, and the University of Waterloo. As for the colleges, we have several of those, but Humber is one of the top options for our students. We are based in Toronto, in the downtown area, in the very center of the city. To be specific, we are based on one of the 3 campuses of the University of Toronto, the central one, which is called St. George Campus. We're right here in the corner, and across the Braemar, you can find the main entrance to the main building of the University of Toronto, which is the famous one. So we are very close to that, and some students, they can have access to sport facilities, to library of the university, apart from the resources that we provide them with. Several data of what our students choose. So this is the statistics for the past several years. 90% of the students are international students. Most of them, they prefer universities, 60%, 42, they go to colleges. As in terms of universities, we have the University of Toronto, University of York. So basically the 4 partners, they occupy 75%, but we're not limited to those. So 27, they go to British Columbia, or they go to Europe, or they go to the United States. So there are different options. And in any case, we'll assist our students. As for the programs that that our students choose, math and science and business are number 1 and number 2 options. But the idea is that students can choose subjects to study, which will be their majors. With their help, they will get to universities or colleges. Also, there may be some news about the accommodation which you might like. We have 2 options, not only the homestay, but the residency as well. Homestay is option, we can see the most popular, because from our data, 65% they choose the homestay accommodation, because it might be a good option for students who travel in the first time to Canada, who have their first international experience, because this is the Canadian family who can host them, who can cook food for them, and they will be the one to choose them. So we don't appoint student to some random family. We ask the criteria which are important, and we send 2, 3, 4 options for parents and students to choose, and they can find the best option for them. So they have the furnished room. There'll be 2 or 3 more students in the house. All are Braemar students, and it's either boys or only boys or only girls. But we're not limited to those. Since this year, we have cooperation with the residences. So these 3 in the upper part of the screen, the Advent, the Parkside, and the Home student residence, they are in the walk-in proximity to the school. from 10 to 20 minutes walk. So this is the downtown area as well. I will provide you in the follow-up email with the information about these residences, the prices for those, and different options and the location. But I would also highlight the fourth one, the Van Mates residency. This one is not in the downtown, it's in the midtown, a little bit to the north to the school, but they have very, very reasonable prices for the accommodation, starting from 1,400 Canadian dollars per month. And the location is a little bit different. It's more residential, more green, more park looking, and it will take students just 15 minutes walk from 10 to 15 minutes by metro, sorry, to get the downtown area. So we can say this option is really, I think, one of the best ones in case they're not looking for the downtown or they would like to maybe save some cost. Also, we are trying constantly to improve and enrich our activities program. So we have the daily schedule that you can see here. Every day we have some activities and clubs. So we try to develop not only the academic part of our students, but give them different options of what they can do apart from that. So we have different clubs from drama and literature to cooking club, computer science club, business marketing. So basically a lot of options of what students can do once they are done with their classes. They have up to 3 hours to do that. Also, we have the red certificate and blue certificate. So this is the program which focuses on the soft skills development, like time management, leadership, stress resistance, communication and negotiation skills. So this is the enrichment program for their profile, for their CV in the future, and it will prepare students for their future career and future education in post-secondary institutions. Also, I'd like to highlight the podcast that we have here, where you can find our actual students, our professors, uh, focusing on different topics, what they find beautiful in Canada, maybe some challenges they face, how they overcome them. So this is more non-official, more friendly information that students might find interesting. Some beautiful pictures of the sport activities we have in our portfolio: football, volleyball, and basketball. This is the standard program. We have this twice a week. But also in case students would like to try something fun, something new, like hockey, maybe wrestling, something like that, it can also be part of the schedule, and we'll find something for every student depending on what they want. If we come back to the academic part, just a few words here. All the students who finished Braemar College, who complete the program, they will get the OSSD, or the Ontario Secondary School Diploma. This is the diploma most of the students receive in the province of Ontario, which is the equivalent to the IB and the A-level diploma. And students can go to any university, any college in Canada. If they pass SAT test, they can go to the United States, they can go to Europe, or they can come back. Also, the good thing about Canada is that students can choose which classes they would like to study. So we group them all in the thematic pathways, which are science and technology, business, humanities, art design, and nursing. So students are the ones to choose. Basically, now we'll come back to the admission process a little bit. They are connected. If we have a new student, we have to receive the application form that you can fill online on our website. Also, we need to see the transcript for the past year, and we'll do placement tests usually we do them in English and math, but in our case, it's only math. And these tests, we need them to assess the academic level of the student so that we could accurately provide the individual tailor-made academic plan for every student. So they are different depending on the level of the student and where they would like to go next, to college or to university, and which program we would like to focus on in the future. And we can say that every student will have their own academic plan depending on their goals. I would like to focus that we can welcome students for year 9, year 10, year 11, or year 12, because we will transfer automatically previous achievements to Canadian credit system. So there are different options when they can start. And apart from that, we have a different term system. So students, in our case, they can start 5 times a year. Every 2 months is the intake, and they can start 5 times a year. So this is the scheme of our term system. Unlike the public schools who have 2 big semesters from September to December and from January till June, where students have to study 4 credits each term, we decided to split them. And in our case, each term is 9 weeks or 2 months. And each term, students take only 2 classes, and they will pass only 2 exams at the very end of the term. So this is how it's going to look like. Let's go from the bottom of the page. So the high school program that we offer starts with year 9 and goes to year 12. So these are the 4 years of the high school, but mostly from what we can see, students join us for the 2 years, year 11 and year 12, or only year 12 for the university or college pathway program. We have during the year we have 4 major intakes from September till June. From September till June. Currently, we have October 14. We are in the middle of term 1. We're going to finish in the middle of November. They will pass 2 exams on the 2 subjects they selected, and they'll proceed to term 2. Each term is 9 weeks long. At the end of week 9, we have 2 exams. We study from Monday till Friday. On Saturday, we have big trips, or occasional activities. So this is something big, like Niagara Falls trip, CN Tower, museums, theaters. Basically, when we gather the whole class or the whole school, and we go to some beautiful and interesting place. And the day starts at 9 o'clock. We take from 9 till 12 the first period, the first class. For example, it's going to be English with a small break for tea or coffee. Then we have lunch, 1 hour long. And from 1 till 4, we proceed to period number 2 or class number 2, for example. So it's English, now it's going to be business. And here they'll have from 4 o'clock till 7 time for their activities, for their clubs, for their sports, or they can just go home if they're tired and do their homework. They can do whatever they would like to do. Now, briefly, this is the presentation that you will receive after, and we have the QR code on each of the programs, which you can download, especially for the program that you're interested in. High school is from year 9 to year 11. Pathway is not here. It's more, I would say, standard option. Students, they don't choose that much classes. This is still the standard high school. We have 5 intakes a year. We do placement tests, so it's pretty much standard. The pathway program is something different. It's the last year. Here we have we do the placement test, and here we'll decide together with you and together with the student specific academic plan for our student, and we'll have the roadmap of what we do next, where they would like to go. Either they would like to come back, or they would like to go to university, or they would like to go to college. And our job is to connect them to these colleges or universities together with you, of course. We do it hand by hand together. And the goal is to let students enter top universities and top institutions, top colleges in Canada that we have connection with. I think briefly here you can find at the end some more details of what students can take within the thematic pathway, as I mentioned, business, art design, math and science, and humanities. Here you can find this information, what is the required course, which courses are highly recommended, and which one are optional, for you to have a clear image, clear idea of what they might study when they join us for the last year program. It's all there. Also, I'd like to highlight that we have annually 8 best students who receive awards connected to our universities. This is the separate one for every university, award of excellence. So we have 2 students for each university who get additional scholarship. Sometimes they win full coverage. We have last year we had 2 students who went to York and they studied free of charge because they won the award there with our help and of course with their full commitment and motivation. So it is possible. Also, I would like to highlight that we have currently the scholarship applied automatically to all students from Nigeria, from West Africa, which is 5,800 Canadian dollars. And the last part of my presentation is the Toronto pathway. So this is the newest development that we have. The program is designed for students who would like to go specifically to the University of Toronto, and they can do this with our help. You can see here the comparison of the regular pathway program and Toronto pathway program. So you can see there will be more support and there will be more connection from the side of the University of Toronto. They will be there from the initial stage to the last stage when the student becomes a student of the University of Toronto. Some words from the UFT Director of Student Recruitment and more information on this program. So I think this is it from my side. Now, please, if you have any questions to me, you can put them into the chat so that I could reply to them. Let's wait for some time. In case you might not have any questions, you have my email address, and I will follow up later when we have the link to the YouTube so that you could share this information with your colleagues, with those who could not be here today. And you'll get also all the information from me and from Kirill Murathanov relating to our institutions. So I see there are no questions, which is good, I think. And now I'll pass the word to Kirill.
Thank you, Nikolai. Thank you for a great presentation. Also, thank you for all the participants that you found time in your busy schedule to connect with us today. Hope all is well in Nigeria. If we haven't met in person yet, my name is Kirill and I work at Humber College. And as Nikolai mentioned, I look after our partners in Africa, Middle East, and Europe. I've been working with our Nigerian students and partners for, I think, almost 6 years. So I'm happy to connect with our new future partners and existing partners and talk about Humber College today. Let me share my presentation first. Okay. I hope you can see that. Let me just do some moving around because I'm operating with two screens here. Yeah, if you get any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat. I can just stop and talk about the questions you might have and so on. Let's talk about Humber. For Humber, Nigeria is one of the top countries in terms of the number of students. It looks like our presentations will be finished, but we will reconnect. If it happens, don't lose us. We will reconnect again. Nigeria is one of the top destinations for Humber Polytechnic. And we get about 200 students each September who start with us. We are located in Toronto, in Canada. Let's talk about our college, the visa changes, the immigration changes, because I'm sure you're all anxious to hear about it. To begin with, some of the updates. So in Canada, we operate on a terms or say 3 semesters basis. And right now, all of the intakes are open for applications. So we are accepting applications for January, winter 2025. If your student is already in Canada, then I would say it's still possible to apply for winter. If your student is still in Nigeria and needs to get visa, it might be a bit too late for winter 25, because visa normally takes about 3 months for applicants from Nigeria. But May is open, so I would say May is a good term to apply for because there is still good 6 months before the term starts, even I would say 7 months. And of course, we are accepting applications for next September as well. So it's possible to apply for September 2025, which is our main intake. So in short, all of the intakes for 2025 are open and you can submit your applications. In terms of the programs, a couple of new programs that we recently introduced. All 3 of them are postgraduate programs, and I should mention that for our Nigerian candidates, postgraduate programs are #1 bestseller. Most of the students are interested in postgraduate programs. So the 2 of them are IT related. So artificial intelligence and machine learning is the 2 semesters graduate certificate. Cloud computing is another one. IT program for 2 semesters on postgrad level. And the other one I wanted to mention is retirement home management. So this is relating to personal care and support. It's a postgraduate program, 3 semesters, very good fit for those students with background in hospitality, in healthcare, in customer relations, social services, and so on. These are some of the new programs that were introduced recently that would be of interest for your students. Now, let's talk about the immigration changes. If you've been working with Canada for some time, you're probably aware that this has been a very turbulent year for Canada. There have been a lot of changes and updates, but let me talk about the most recent ones. These ones were introduced back in September, so only, about less than a month ago. The first one was the reduction of the study permits. There is a further 10% reduction in study permit approvals. Now, with this one, it's interesting because the number of study permits issued this year has been very high. I know some of our Nigerian partners had concerns about the refusal rates. Yes, some of the students were refused this year. But from what I understand, reapplication for the visa or submission of clarification on many visa cases helped to resolve this. But yes, one of the updates is that there is a small reduction in study permit issued for next year. Master's PhD students will be included in the caps and must submit PEL, provincial attestation letter, as part of their study permit application. So if you do have master's students for universities, this is concerning them. And probably the biggest update is the PGWP eligibility rules change. PGWP is postgraduate work permit. So basically, this is what all of the students are coming to to get after they graduate. This is one of the bigger sales points for studying in Canada. And there's been a major change with PGWP eligibility. So it will remain unchanged for public college graduates who graduate from a field of study linked to labor shortages. So basically, there is now a list of fields which are in a labor shortage, and only students that graduates from the programs in these fields will continue to be eligible for PGWP. So basically, in a nutshell, you have to study specific area to continue to be eligible for PGWP. Starting November 1st, PGWP applicants will be required to demonstrate minimum language of proficiency in French or English. So students applying for the work permit will also need to take an English test to show their language, their qualification. This is not a big concern for Nigeria because English is first language. We don't ask our Nigerian students to submit any IELTS or TOEFL test to apply for, but when the time comes to apply for PGWP, they'll need to take an English test. Another change is spousal work permits for master students will be limited to programs lasting at least 16 months. And probably one of the most important points is that current students are not affected by these changes. So all of your students who already started their studies this September or earlier this year, this wouldn't concern them. They can breathe out. Also, those students who apply for their study permits before November 1st will not be affected by this change as well. So if you have a student who holds seat in the program due to start in January or in May, I would encourage these candidates to apply for their visa as soon as possible, especially May candidates. So they launch their visa application before November 1st, and none of these changes affect them. Okay. All right. So these are the changes. One of the bigger questions that all of our partners have been asking us, so what is the fields of study linked to the labor shortages? What are these areas? And last Friday, the Ministry of Immigration did publish this list. So it is on immigration website. Actually, I don't think I shared the link. I'll share the link in my presentation. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fields: agriculture and agri-food, healthcare, STEM, trade, and transport. So students continue to study in these 5 fields will be eligible for PGWP. So these are the fields, and you can see down here it says 966 entries. So there's a big list of different specializations within these 5 major fields. But this is it. This is the areas of study which will continue to get students their postgraduate work permit. As you can see, business is not on this list. So somebody who studies management, marketing, supply chain management. Supply chain management is on a border. Something like accounting will not be eligible for PGWP, unfortunately. Media or arts are neither on this list. So this is a big change. For us as a college, we are in a very good position because we are polytechnic institutions. And that means that we have over, I would say, about 180 different programs across different areas. We do offer healthcare. We do offer a lot of programs in STEM. We do have trades. Transportation, well, this is the one we need to find out because we offer supply chain management programs, which technically should fall under transport, but we need to verify it with immigration to make sure that these programs continue to be eligible. Now, let's talk about Humber and what we actually offer. So we are college, we're not university. And the big difference is that colleges are more career-focused institutions. Universities are more theory and research-focused institutions. So we do have engineering, business, media, healthcare, STEM. We don't have science and research. This is our main difference. We make sure that we deliver both theoretical and practical knowledge. So majority of our programs include work placement, internship, co-ops, and so on. We accept students after they graduate from their school. So secondary school, which is WAEC or NECO for Nigeria, they can apply for 2 years diplomas, 3 years advanced diplomas, 4 years bachelor degrees. Graduate university graduates, can qualify for graduate certificate. We offer Ontario graduate certificate programs. We don't have master's or PhD. This is more of a university level programs. So when your student finishes their school, they have 2 options. They can either do bachelor's degree, which is on the right side, 4 years, or they can do diploma or advanced diploma, which is 2 or 3 years on the left side. In both cases, if they study in the area of study eligible, they will get postgraduate work permit. The major difference is that the diplomas offer more flexibility. So after 2 years or 3 years of study, students can decide, are they going to start working because they would be eligible for PGWP, or they continue to do bachelor's degree because they can transfer into bachelor's degree with a credit, finish their degree in a shorter period, and then start working. So diplomas and advanced diplomas give them this option to choose. Am I ready to start workforce, or do I actually need to do a couple more years to get my degree? When they go into bachelor's degree, they don't have this choice. They have to study 4 years. Another point is budget. Our bachelor's degree is about 21,000 Canadian dollars per year, and it's 4 years. Diplomas are only about 18,000, and it's only 2 or 3 years. So based on family budget, they can decide which option works for them, diploma or maybe a bachelor degree. And the third point is that the choice depends on what students want or their parents want from their studies in Canada. For someone who has ambitious plans for their career, say in finance or in engineering or any other area, if they need a bachelor's degree, they can do bachelor's degree at the college level with a lot of opportunities to get practical skills and high employability rate. But if they need to acquire qualification just to get them a job, say photography, professional chef, graphic design, computer programming, they can do it in 2 or 3 years. They don't have any big plans for career. So diplomas and advanced diplomas are better for those students. So these are the kind of parameters which help our students and their parents decide what they want to do after their school, diploma or degree. This is the calendar. So we start 3 times a year. There is a fall term, which starts in September, ends in December. Winter term starting in January, ending in May. And a summer term, which starts in May, ends in September. We don't have application deadlines, but we do recommend to apply 7 to 10 months in advance. So I would say the best time to start in September, say for September 25. November, December, January is a great time to apply. So I would say about now is a good time to apply for September 25 because students will have a best choice of the programs. They will have enough time to prepare to apply for visa. They will get enough time to get their visa, which on average sometimes takes 3 months, sort out their accommodation, do all of this stress-free. If they want to apply earlier, they can still apply later, but the process will be more stressful. For May intake, the best time to apply would be about now, September, October, November. And for winter term, it's best to apply between May, June, July. So as you can see, admission is on a rolling basis. There is no strict deadlines, but some programs fill up quicker than the others. So for example, Bachelor of Nursing, top seller, only 5 seats. Best to apply right now for September 25 to get into the Bachelor of Nursing. In terms of areas of studies, as I mentioned, STEM is one of our strongest fields. So applied tech and engineering is a big faculty. Anything from architecture to mechatronics, from electromechanical engineering to industrial design, from civil engineering to construction management, lots to choose from. Health science and wellness is also a relatively big school. Programs like biotechnology, nursing, occupational health, traditional Chinese medicine, personal support worker. All of those programs and more are under health. We do have business, but I assume it will now get shorter given the change in immigration laws. But business is a big school as well. Anything from accounting to finance, from supply chain management to international business, a lot to choose from. We do have creative arts and design. That includes photography, graphic design, visual digital arts, many more. We have child and youth care programs like early childhood education. Community and social service include personal support worker, community development, addictions and mental health. Skill trades, anything from welding technician to cabinet making to air conditioning system technician and so on. We have media, public relations and marketing, programs like journalism, media, communications. We have Bachelor of Music. We have excellent hospitality programs, anything from becoming professional chef to managing restaurants and hotels. IT is a big field, anything from computer programming to game development, animation and 3D, computer engineering, many programs there. And we also have justice and legal studies. So these are the main areas with over 180 different programs there. In terms of bachelor's degree, we have about 30 different degrees. A lot of them are in business. Some programs like child and youth care, where we teach students to become professionals in child and development programs. We have behavioral science, we have community development, a couple of design programs like industrial design, interior design. We do have workplace health and wellness, biomedical science, addictions and mental health, strong engineering programs, Bachelor of Engineering with various specializations like mechatronics, built environment, information systems. Few programs in media like journalism, film, digital communications. So these are all bachelor degrees, 4-year qualifications at the college level. Now, these are graduate certificates, and we have about 50 of them. Majority of our Nigerian students are coming for these programs. So this is for someone with a degree, someone who already graduated from university or has HND. We accept HND into some of these programs. Most of them are 1 year with a few exceptions, like IT Solutions is a 2-year program. Global Business Management and Business Analytics are also 2-year programs. Everything else is 1 year. Most of the postgraduate students are interested in studying 2 years because that will make them eligible for up to 3 years postgraduate work permit. So if you have someone who wants to do IT for 2 years on postgraduate level, they can either do IT Solutions, which is 2 years, or they can do combination of 2 1-year programs. They can do, say, 1 year AI and machine learning and 1 year cloud computing. That will be a total of 2 years of study, make them eligible for up to 3 years postgraduate work permit. So it's possible to combine 2 1-year programs to make it 2 years of study. So again, a lot to choose from for our future students. Admission process is pretty straightforward. Applications are submitted on our website. On each program page, you can find if the program is available, the tuition fees, the admission requirements. It's all listed on each specific program page. In terms of the requirements, for 2 years, 3 years diplomas, we're looking at VIAC or NECO with minimum C in required subjects. Required subjects are English, so minimum C in English to be eligible. And depending on the program, other subjects. For instance, if you have students who want to do electromechanical engineering, they need to have C in math. They want to do IT, C in math. They want to do business, same. You have a student who wants to do biomedical science, biotechnician, they'll need to have C in biology, chemistry, and so on. For bachelor degree, requirements are slightly higher, minimum B in the required subjects. So B in English, and the same. If they do Bachelor of Engineering, we need to have B in Maths, B in Physics, for example. We don't ask for IELTS or TOEFL to check their English, just their school results. And if it's VIAC or NECO, it must be accompanied by a scratch card. So no scratch card, no evaluation. If your student is doing British system, if they have IGCSE, they can do diplomas or advanced diplomas. For bachelors, they would need to have A level to be eligible. For postgraduate students, we accept a bachelor's degree. It has to be second class or higher. Doesn't mean lower or high division. As long as it's a second class, your student will be eligible. HND is also accepted to some of our programs on postgraduate level. So some postgraduate programs accept diplomas and advanced diplomas, and that's the equivalent to HND. So that's what we need. Oh, sorry, for university students, the transcripts must be official, which means stamped and signed by the registrar office. Unofficial transcripts are not accepted, I'm afraid. Some universities in Nigeria don't issue these documents. They only give student copies. That's not a problem. They can email them. So the university can send it by email to me, and we will accept the copies this way. That's all we need to apply. We don't need any personal statements, participation in different competitions, just the academics, and that's all we need. So the way the process works, you submit application, upload all the documents, we will review them. It usually takes 1, maximum 2 weeks for processing. If student is eligible, we will send you a letter of acceptance. Some schools do it differently. They give you a letter of offer. They ask students to pay the money, then they give you a letter of acceptance. Not like this with us. We issue LOA if the student is eligible right away. Student would need to confirm their receipt through their Humber account. We will request a provincial attestation letter. Usually it takes 3 days to get it. And they will need to pay a deposit of 3,000 Canadian dollars. Usually they need to pay it within 2 weeks after being accepted. If deposit is not paid, student will have to deactivate the application. If they get visa refusal, they don't need to worry. We will only hold $200. We will refund everything else back to them. So this is how letter of acceptance look like. You have most of the critical information, like the student address, their date of birth, the program they applied for, and down here there will be a deadline to pay the deposit. And then the deadline to pay the rest of their tuition for the first semester will be, I would say, about 2 months before the program starts. So our diplomas and advanced diplomas cost about 18,000 Canadian dollars. Degree is about 21,000. Graduate certificate is also about 20,000 Canadian dollars per year. Tuition is paid by semesters. So they need to pay for the first semester 10,000, and then in 6 months they pay another 10,000 for the second semester. I usually encourage our Nigerian students to pay either full semester or even full year before they apply for their student visa, because that improves their chances to get their student visa approved. Now, there are additional costs. The biggest chunk of it would be their living expenses. So there are 3 options. Students can stay in Canadian host family. That's between 9 to 18,000. They can stay in a student residence on campus. This is the preferred option because it provides the meal plan, and they can live right there on campus. And there's rental accommodation for mature students. So overall budget, I would say about 30 to 40,000 Canadian dollars per year. I need to update this slide. It looks messy. All the payments are reflected in the student's account on our website. So once they apply, they will get access to their account and they can track all the transactions there. And if you need to make changes to the application, you can always submit it via our contact form, anything from requesting the official receipt to deferring the student to making adjustment to the program selection. So it's all possible to submit through our contact form. We do have student residence on campus, so students can stay in a student residence. It's important to apply early to secure the room. And as I mentioned, the housing costs between 10 to 12,000 per year with meals included, so students can eat on campus. Now, we pay a lot of attention to helping students get their internship or work placement, so they gain their experience before they graduate. That's what makes colleges stand out from universities. We make sure that by the end of the course, they have both their diploma and CV with Canadian experience. And thanks to that, our graduates are highly employable after they finish with their program. We organize career fairs. We help them with their first job interview. We help them to put together their CV, but the students have to be proactive from their end as well to make sure that they secure their work placement, they secure their internship. And if they do that, most likely by the time they graduate, they will get a job offer. We have a landing page dedicated to our students from Africa. So it's a page with information about Humber, some testimonials from our students, and general information about our programs. And this is also our social media. This is myself and my manager, Alexander. Alex is based in Toronto. I'm based in the same region with Nigeria. I'm based in Georgia, which is closer to Europe, and it's only 2 hours different with Nigeria. So anytime you have questions, you can ask them directly to me, and I would usually reply you the same day, unless I'm on the plane to Nigeria or from Nigeria. All right, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask either to myself or to Nikolai. We are here to answer your questions. Make the best use of this time, please. I can't believe we did such a great job presenting that you don't have any questions. I'm sure you have questions, and I'm sure you're not shy. You're probably checking your notes.
Yeah, maybe you can type them in the chat if you want, or you can just unmute yourself and ask them.
I'll share my contacts in the chat. So in case you do get question, my email is there. Please feel free to send your questions later when you do get the questions.
Thank you so much for the presentation. But for now, I'm not sure any of my team has any questions, but as soon as we do, we can always reach out to Nick to answer our questions.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Okay, so it seems that we don't have any questions as of now. I don't see them in the chat. In any case, yes, so you can find the credentials of Kirill in the chat. You have all my emails, and I will do the follow-up email as well a little bit later with the link to the YouTube that you could share with your colleagues, and you can find the YouTube channel. So I think from my side, I'd like to thank everyone for their time, for being here today with us. I hope you found some answers to the questions. Thank you, Kirill, so much for also being here, for all the information that you gave us on Canada, on most recent trends. I think maybe it's resolved some of the doubts of our partners. I hope so. Thank you so much, Kirill.
Thank you for inviting, and thank you for the partners for your time today.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Kirill. Well, thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right. Thank you so much. Goodbye. Good night. Thank you.